Well, Saturday was certainly a disaster. I'll tell you what, if you have a college basketball team that's on a winning streak, just ask me to have a big best bet on that team, and I guarantee you I will put an end to that streak. First, it was Wichita State a few nights ago with their 27-game home winning streak. Boom! I put an end to that one. Yesterday, I had an ultra-rare 20-dime play on Wright State. The Raiders had won 8 straight going up against that lousy Wisconsin-Milwaukee team. And naturally, the Panthers ended their losing streak by beating Wright State, a 2-point road favorite, outright. But I wasn't the only guy that lost here yesterday, so misery loved company, and there was a lot of misery going on here at the site yesterday. Jeff Benton, his first college basketball release of the season, he lost yesterday. Jack Brayman, after a string of 100-dime plays, a 200-dime up the ante release, he lost yesterday. So again, it was just a miserable, miserable day here at the site, which means we better win today in the NFL. And a couple of guys have big, big plays. First of all, Chris Jordan, one and only blank check game of the year goes today. This is the biggest play in any sport that he has, a blank check release. And we're talking about a 35-year handicapping career. And Chris Jordan with $1 bettors up $55,000 over the past 12 and a half months. Now he is 16-8. With NFL blank check releases over his 35-year career. His last one was on Thanksgiving Day back in 2016, 2 years ago, with the Lions over the Vikings on that day. Keep in mind that triple his wager releases, 3,000 star plays. This is bigger than those, and he is 12-2 lifetime with those 3,000 star releases. So this is bigger than when he had a 3,000 star triple your wager play with the Patriots over the Steelers in last year's AFC Championship game. Bigger than that 3,000 star triple your wager release. His College Bowl game of the year was Central Florida, the 10.5 point underdog, outright over Auburn in the Peach Bowl. Bigger than his 3,000 star triple your wager play with North Carolina over Gonzaga in last year's Final Four championship game. And 5 times bigger than his Super Bowl winner on the Patriots last year. 2-0 playoff sweep last weekend when he delivered with the Eagles and also with the Jaguars and the Steelers over, and with $1 bettors with 1,000 star plays or higher, making a little over $156,000 way back since 2006. You get it today as the half price play of the day simply by using the coupon code as first name. That, of course, being Chris. Yes, C-H-R-I-S. The other big play today, once again going to the well, as I talk about all the time, Tommy Brunson, 150 dime releases since joining the site in September. This is going to be the 13th ever 150 dime NFL release. So far, he is 10-2 with them. Last Saturday, Eagles outright over the Falcons. 2 Saturdays ago, Titans outright over Kansas City. Today, Philadelphia, Minnesota. Just like all the other 150 dime plays, you get it for over half price off simply by using coupon code 150dimer, 150 D-I-M-E-R. Those are your 2 featured plays. You can get them over on the homepage, all the other discounts, etc. Let's talk about today's game between the Patriots and the Jaguars. But first, a little ATS perspective from a historical viewpoint. This, of course, going back to when the conferences merged way back in 1970. Home teams are 53, 39, and 2 against the spread in that stretch. Home teams, the past 4 years, 8-0 straight up, 7-1 against the spread. The lone loser in that stretch, Seattle against Green Bay, when the Packers covered at Seattle 3 seasons ago. Seahawks won the game, Packers got the cover. Again, home teams, 8-0 straight up, 7-1 against the spread. Also, little interesting note, the only home underdog in that 4-year stretch, that was when Denver knocked off the Patriots 2 years back. Overall, home favorites are just, though, 12 games over 500 going back to that 1970 merger at 44, 30, and 2. Now, favorites, no matter where they are playing. So you've got a favorite and I'm breaking this down by point spreads, and we're only going to deal with the 2 games and the 2-point spreads for today's game. Favorites of 1 to 3 points, like Minnesota today. Well, they're only 2 games over 500 at 12-10 against the spread, going back again to the 1970 merger. But favorites of 7 to 9.5 points, like the Patriots are today, much more impressive number. They're 16-7 versus the point spread. But just like as I told you last weekend, in the divisional round, the conference championship round, more often than not, you have blowouts in this round. You've had 93 total games since the 1970 merger. 43 of them, or 46.2%, have been decided by 2 touchdowns or more. 46.2% decided by 2 touchdowns or more. Here's one even better, though, for you. 67 of them, or 72%, have been decided by 10 points or more. One other little tidbit for you to dwell on. Both number 1 seeds have advanced in 3 of the past 4 seasons. But everything in gambling is cyclical, right? Before that, prior to that, both teams advancing just 3 times. Before that, going back to 1990. But so again, generally you have blowouts. Now, in today's game, New England minus 7.5. Tom Brady, yeah, he's going to be out there today, right? Yeah. But will he have the gloves on? Who the hell cares? Tom Brady's going to be out there. Patriots making their 7th straight appearance in the AFC Championship game. You know what the Jags did last week, 45-42 at Pittsburgh. You also kind of probably forgot what the Jags did the week prior when they were lucky to survive playing at home against Buffalo 10-2. And probably overlooked in what the Jags did last week, not only overlooked in the fact that they barely got by Buffalo, is the fact that this Jaguars team sucked on the road. Remember? They couldn't get the job done at Tennessee. They couldn't win at San Francisco. They couldn't win at Arizona. This team was lousy on the road, except when they played the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's something about the gold and black. It brings out the best in the Jaguars. If I'm Bill Belichick, I probably went to all type of measures today to make sure that there was no gold and black anywhere in the stadium. Knowing Bill Belichick, he probably went to the extremes, and he probably had every security guard making sure that nobody entered the stadium today wearing gold and black on their person. You know, that's Bill Belichick probably for you today. Listen, I just wonder if the Jaguars can reach that fever pitch that they reached last week playing the Steelers, where they felt disrespected because Mike Tomlin and Le'Veon Bell and everybody, Mike Mitchell, had all said, hey, they were ready to take the Patriots on again, because the Steelers disrespected them so much. That just inspired the Jaguars even more. Can they reach that fever pitch for a 2nd straight game? I just wonder. I think you're going to see the Patriots go to a lot of no huddle today. I think you're going to see the Patriots come out here and look to run the ball. Because remember how effective Buffalo was running the ball against the Jaguars at home. Because for as good as the Jaguars are against the pass, their weakness, I think they were number 21 in the league at stopping the run, giving up about 4.1 yards per carry. And the one thing the Patriots can do, which is almost overlooked because of Tom Brady's success throwing the ball, is they can run the ball with a bevy of backs. They can do so. And I think that's going to be the key for them today, establishing the run. Although it wouldn't surprise me with all the hoo-ha about Tom Brady's hand if they don't come out and go deep on the very first play. The other thing about this Jacksonville defense, you know, it's good that they've done such a great job, but let me ask you, look at how Brady spread the ball around last week. He didn't. That was a joke. That was sarcasm. I mean, he repeatedly targeted the Gronk and Amendola. 18 catches combined for 193 yards. Almost totally ignored Chris Hogan and Brandon Cooks, so only 4 catches combined. So if you're the Jaguars defense, do you concentrate on Amendola and Gronkowski? Because you can get burned by the other 2 guys. Oh, do you stack the box to stop the run? Because then Brady's going to pick you apart. Pick your poison when trying to defend the Patriots. Then look at the Patriots defense last week. Now, Marcus Mariota, yes, he strained his quad or whatever early in that game and it limited his mobility. Blake Bortles has been using his legs a lot in the postseason, and it's a damn good thing because he's such an ineffective passer and inconsistent. But 8 sacks they had of the Titans last week. And this defense for New England since week 5 of the season, once they got their first month problems out of the way, has allowed an average of just 14 points a game. And look at how the defense held Derrick Henry in check last week to just 28 yards in that game. I just like New England in this contest here today. I think they're going to get this game and get it done. Patriots on a 28-8 ATS run going back the past 2.5 seasons. 3 of those ATS losses happened in the first month of this season when this team just couldn't figure it out. And it was all offense and no defense. 7.5 points because of what the Jaguars did. I got to go and lay the points with New England. The other thing that impressed me, I was a little concerned last week with New England, how they would come out, specifically Tom Brady, coming off the bye, because I hate that bye for the top seeds after the regular season, because a team that's so finely tuned, especially offensively, and a quarterback so hot like Brady, I hate that bye because it puts on some added rust. It's the same reason I hate the bye the extra week before the Super Bowl is played. Last year, it affected Brady coming off a great regular season. He was ineffective for most of the first round game against Houston. Did not bother him at all last week against at home against Tennessee, because he was just absolutely on fire. I remember last year, he had a magnificent game against the Steelers. I know he has the hand injury here, but I just like the Patriots. I think it's a cheap price. Jaguars haven't been on this stage. I think they had their Super Bowl last week. I just don't see them repeating that type of performance today. So I'm more than willing to lay the points with the with the Patriots in this contest. That'll do it. Wish you well and talk to you again tomorrow.